throw into Hemel Hempstead. Here's Watt. Birch with a long ball over the top. And it's going to fall right to Watkins there. No real danger, and Sambu picks up the ball and we're off again. So driving down the right now. Long ball over the top, looking for Ricky Modeste. Can he get a cross in? He's got a bit of support down there if he does. Coombs, oh, brilliant save from Allen. What's going on, guys? My name is Martinio and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 and a brand new episode of my Billericay Rising series. So today's episode, again, we're going to have a live-com game, this time against Hemel Hempstead Town. We've also got a bit of team news, which includes a brand new signing, so very excited for that. But we're going to kick the episode off once again by taking a look at some highlights from the 3 games that followed the previous episode, and we'll start things off by taking a look to see how we got on away to Chippenham Town. So, as I said, the first set of highlights comes from our trip to Harden Hewish Park and Chippenham Town. And as you can see, we ran out 4-0 winners here. Jake Howells opened the scoring. The initial cross and effort from Coombs was saved well by House. And Jake Howells was on hand to tap in the rebound for his first goal of the season. And then a short time later, we doubled our advantage. Callum Kennedy driving into the box and apparently brought down by Rig. I mean, it looked like a good tackle from where I was sitting, but the referee pointed to the spot nonetheless. And Danny Waldron duly dispatched the spot kick to make it 2-0 and bag his 3rd goal of the season. And then with about 5 minutes of the half left to go, we made it 3-0. Cunnington with a lovely ball over the top, found Coombs, got it down, got himself set, and a very cool finish to snag his 7th goal of the campaign so far. So he's made a brilliant start to this season as things stand. In the second half, it was relatively quiet for the most part. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the initial going. We had a couple of chances here and there, but it was relatively quiet. But things picked up with about 10 minutes left to go. Compton finding himself free at the back post, and he struck the woodwork. We got away with that there. And then a short time later, Chambers also went close. He managed to get him behind, but his shot was saved pretty well by Brad Watkins to keep the clean sheet intact. And then we put a nice little bow on things. Jake Howells down the left. His cross was nodded down by Coombs to Waldron, and Waldron found Howells again to whip it to the back post to bag his 2nd goal of the game and our 4th. And that's the way the score stayed. And I mean, looking at the stats, it was a fairly even game on the basis of it. I mean, we completely dominated the first half, and most of their stats came in the second. But I don't know. I mean, on the basis of those stats, you probably wouldn't have been thinking it was a 4-0 win for ourselves. Jake Howells, of course, got man of the match. 2 goals for him today. Very, very good performance. Coombs also had a good game. He got an assist and a goal also. Waldron had a good game, an assist and a goal from the penalty spot, albeit. So yeah, a very comprehensive win for us there. Next up, we hosted St Albans at the AGP Arena, and this game came only a couple of days after the Chippenham game, so I was forced to make quite a few changes to the first team lineup in order to keep people fresh and not have any injuries, and it sort of showed in the performance really. It was a relatively dull affair all in all. Jake Howells got the only goal of the game, cross from the right hand side. Best nodded it down, and Howells bagged his 3rd goal in 2 games there for him. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it was a relatively dull game all in all. Second half, they had a decent chance through Merson, who I'm not sure, he could be related to Paul. He kind of looks a little bit like him. Leon Best also had a decent opportunity as well to double the advantage, but overall it just was sort of a dull game, to be honest. There wasn't a whole lot happening. little bit disjointed, admittedly, and that probably came from the amount of changes I had to make. But I was honestly expecting a lot better, especially from the likes of Robinson and Best up front. But they just haven't clicked this season. They haven't really got going so far. And I mean, on the face of it, with the match stats, you'd say maybe a 1-0, a 1-0 win was sort of a fair result. I'd say we had just about the better of it, but St Albans weren't completely dominated. So, yeah, 1-0 win. Clean sheet, 3 points, can't really complain, but honestly I would have liked to have beaten this lot a bit more convincingly. And the final set of highlights we have for you come from our 2-0 defeat away to Woking. We came into the game with, again, we had our regular team lineup, but it was just a terrible game. I mean, you saw on, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you'll see I posted an image asking you to guess the scoreline. Well, that was from this game. Greg Lua opened the scoring with 8 minutes gone. Honestly, Watkins should have done a hell of a lot better with that effort there at his near post. No keeper should be beating him at his near post, let's be honest. And they could have made it 2-0 in the first half. Jake Hyde hit the post after some good build-up play by Woking. And yeah, I mean, the second half, again, it was sort of quiet. There wasn't a whole lot going on from ourselves. We had an okay chance, but the second goal for Woking did eventually come with just over an hour gone. Jake Hyde getting in behind thanks to Greg Lua's through ball, and again I think Watkins should have done a hell of a lot better for that one. And yeah, I mean, that kind of knocked the stuffing out of us. At 1-0 I thought we still had a chance. We could probably get an equaliser and then go on to win this game, but honestly we just weren't at the races for this one. And I mean, stats-wise, we dominated on the face of it, but they had 2 shots on target, they had 2 chances on target, and they scored both of them. So, disappointing, but, I don't think we're going to go through this entire season unbeaten. So, it's okay in a way, we got it out of the way, and we can focus on other things going forward. So after those 3 games, the league table looks a little bit like this, and as you can see, we still remain top of the table with a 2-point lead over Torquay United. Woking are just a point back in 3rd place there, and yeah, I mean, that Woking game, it's just a case of what could have been. The stats wise showed you would imagine that we dominated, we would have won that game, and if we had have won that game, we would have been 5 points clear. And even though it's still early doors, still a lot of football to be played, 5-point lead at this point would have been, definitely to our advantage. It would have given us a bit of leeway and so on and so forth, but wasn't to be. And now Woking remain the only unbeaten team in the league there, and probably for good reason, because they played very well against us. Not a classic performance, but nonetheless, there we go. So we remain top of the table going into our next game against Hemel Hempstead Town, who are sat firmly bottom of the table, so I'm looking for a performance for this one. But before we jump into the livecom game, we're going to jump across to take a look at a bit of team news. So the first bit of team news we have for you comes on the transfer front, and as we mentioned in the previous episode, we were in negotiations with Aaron Cull to sign him, and eventually he signed on the dotted line for us and got it over the line basically. So he comes in on a 4-year deal worth £600 per week, so pretty hefty sum at this level, I think you'll agree. But I think he's still got plenty of time to improve, and I think he'll be a good signing for us, and it'll take a little bit of the pressure off of Waldron and O'Hara, which is the main reason I brought him in there. But so far, he hasn't made a brilliant start, but still, still bedding in, still settling in, and I think he'll be a very good player for us. And the other new faces into the club come on the staff front. So the first one, Paul Driver, comes in to be our under-18s assistant manager. I'm still working out a deal to bring in an under-18s manager, but for the time being I didn't want to sit around and wait because I think there was a couple of clubs sniffing around him. So decent man management, judging of player ability and potential could be a little better, but I think level of discipline and working with youngsters, definitely sort of things you'd want, when working with young people. You need to keep them disciplined, and you need to be good with working with them. But so he'll come in and he'll take charge of things for the time being until we get an under-18s manager in. And the other signing on the staff front comes from the medical department. So Alex Dalton comes in to be our head physio, physiotherapy of 15 there. Best of what was available. I think he'll do well there. 15 at this level, I think is good. I think it's good for a lot of levels, to be honest with you, that are much higher than ourselves at the moment. But like I said, he'll come in and be our head physio. 2-year contract, £200 a week. Can't really say fairer than that. And speaking of the physiotherapy medical side injury front, we have a new injury. So Moses Emmanuel damaged his knee cartilage, and he is going to be missing for somewhere between, I think it was like 4 and 5 weeks. I think it said it was. So I'm not too cut up about it, but I don't know. It's getting to the point where I might need to start rotating people more, and I definitely had earmarked him as one to potentially come in and do a job for us. Possibly up front, maybe on the right wing where he can play. But yeah, so he's not going to play any part for the next few weeks there, unfortunately. But hopefully he'll be back with us soon enough, and he can get himself back into first team contention. The other bit of news is that I won the Manager of the Month award for August, thanks to 7 wins from 7 games to kick things off. Gary Johnson was the second place candidate, and Alan Dowson in third from Woking. And, fairly convincing. 4-0, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-1, 4-0, 1-0. Can't really say fairer than that. So yeah, first management accolade there. Nice to have, but hopefully at the end of the season we're getting the big one for Manager of the Year. And the final bit of team news we have is from Ricky Modeste, basically, because he's been rocking the boat a little bit in the changing room, whining about first team football. He did sort of rope Callum Geraldo Martin in, who's also been looking for first team football, and Alfie Potter as well was a little bit... a little bit whiny, but I had a talk with Geraldo Martin and Potter, and they sort of backed down. But Ricky Modeste just wants to keep poking the bear, and I don't want to get rid of him. But if he doesn't shut his mouth and just get on with what he's supposed to be doing, which is forcing his way into my first team plans, then I am going to get rid of him. I don't want to, but if someone doesn't want to stay, if they want to just keep bitching and whining, then I'm just gonna say, all right, you can go, whatever, go, because we're kind of overcumbered at right wing at the minute, and I don't want to drop Sam Deering because he's been absolutely brilliant on the right hand side, and I don't see any reason to drop him. He's not trained well, so at the moment he's just gonna have to make do. I'll try and get him some football here and there, but I'm not going to change my whole lineup just to appease him. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted, of course, but at the moment my attempts to sort of diffuse the situation have failed spectacularly, and it could be a case that Ricky Modeste moves on before the end of the season. So that's the team news all done. What we're going to do now, though, is we are going to take a look at today's live come opponents, Hemel Hempstead Town. And so here they are, as you would imagine, founded in 1885, local reputation, semi-professional, blah, 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 blah. The manager is A.D. Pennock, 47-year-old English manager. Man management, yeah. Motivating, yeah. Judging of player ability is okay, but everything else, not really much to write home about there. Favours a 5-2-1-2 wing-back formation. Sorry, he doesn't. He prefers a 4-4-2 formation, and that's his secondary there. Probably think he might work better as a coach, actually. 9 for defending, 8 for tactical, and so on. But there we go. The captain is Jordan Parks, 29-year-old centre midfielder, a bit of a set-piece specialist from the looks of it, so decent corners, free kick taking, penalties, decent passing as well, and as you would imagine from a captain, decent leadership. The key player and vice-captain is Darren Ward, a bit of a journeyman, 39 years of age. And he looks like he's been at a bit of a scrap at some point before this photo is taken. Decent stats in most areas: heading, marking, tackling, positioning, teamwork, work rate, and so on and so forth, leadership. But as you would imagine, pace between 1 and 5, I'm going to guess it's 1. He's had a fairly long career, as you imagine, from a 39-year-old. Played for the likes of Watford, QPR, Millwall, Palace, Charlton, Swindon Town, Crawley, Yeovil. He's played for everyone, really. I'd say he played as high as the Championship as well, so might be one to look out for. Bit of a wily competitor, I imagine. In terms of recent results, they drew at home to Hungerford. They lost at home to Woking, who we just previously lost to. They drew away to Welling, and then they lost at home to Chelmsford and away to Torquay. So that's a pretty rough run. Woking, Chelmsford and Torquay, they're three teams that are thought to be well in contention for promotion come the end of the season. It will be an away game for ourselves, so we'll be travelling to Vauxhall Road. It's got a capacity of 3,152. Decent stadium condition, and it was built in 1972. So yeah, that's today's opponent. So what we're going to do now though is we are going to head down to the pitch, get things kicked off for our live com game, and see if we can bounce back from that disappointing defeat to Woking against Hemel Hempstead Town. Okay then guys, so here we are at Vauxhall Road, just ahead of kickoff, and here are the teams. And we'll start off with ourselves first. Well, no, we'll start off with the home side first of all, actually. So, Alan starts in goal with Doyley at right back and Connolly at left back. Ismail Yakubu, not that Yakubu you're thinking of, partnering Darren Ward in the central defence. They've got Osborne on the right, Sanchez Watt, formerly of Billericay Town, starting on the left, with Birch and Parks in the centre. And then they've got Roberts up top alongside Ollie Yide. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologise. The bench: Walker, Pope, McCall, Adidiji. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And Corley on the bench. For ourselves, I've made a number of changes actually from our defeat against Woking. So Watkins starts in goal once again with Sambo on the right of defence. Alex Smith starting ahead of Callum Kennedy on the left-hand side, with Doe partnering Wakefield in the centre of defence this time. O'Hara and Waldron continue in the central midfield there. They've got a good partnership. Then we've got Ricky Modeste coming in to play on the right wing. Again, Deering didn't have a good game against Woking, and Ricky Modeste has been moaning, so maybe this sort of calms things down and de-escalates the situation a little bit. Hal starts on the left, and then up top we've got Lafayette this time, partnering Adam Coombs up top there. So yeah, and on the bench we've got Inman, Kennedy, Cole, Deering and Jake Robinson. So plenty of options there, and I've opted not to place a goalkeeper on the bench from now on, considering we've only got 5 substitutes available to us. In terms of team talk, I think the assistant manager basically echoes it there. Told the team no uncertain terms they must show an improvement from the last outing, and they should. Where is it? I'm going to be passionate, and we should be winning this one without any problem. And I'm going to give the defence, the midfield, and the attack kick up the backside a little bit, and tell them I am expecting them to do better, and I believe they have what it takes. So that's the team talk. So let's get things kicked off, shall we? So Vauxhall Road sits dead smack in the middle of a council estate from the looks of it, but we're off, and it's Hemel Hempstead to kick things off this time. A long ball which basically comes to nothing, and that's the end of the first highlight. So our first proper highlight of the game with about 12 minutes gone. Here's Modeste. Goes back to Sambu, inside to O'Hara, back to Sambu. And we build something from here. Here's Waldron now. O'Hara. Just quite calm build-up play at the moment. Here's Coombs now. Ball over the top for Sambu. Can he get across it? He does. Howes with the effort, and I think it just touched the top of the crossbar. Close for us there. And another instant highlight now. So throw into Hemel Hempstead. Here's Watt. Birch with a long ball over the top. And it's going to fall right to Watkins there. No real danger, and Sambu picks up the ball, and we're off again. So driving down the right now, long ball over the top, looking for Ricky Modeste. Can he get across it? He's got a bit of support down there if he does. Coombs, oh brilliant save from Allen. Lafayette gets it back, and Modeste is offside. So we've got about 5 minutes of the half remaining, and it's another highlight now, and there's another chance for us hopefully. Here's Lafayette. Ball over the top for Coombs. He's got it behind. Can he finish it? Oh, it's so close. Oh, and there's half time. So, yeah, we've had a couple of decent chances. The best one falling to Coombs. Good save by Allen. We've had just about the better of it, but still no opening goal yet. So, I'm going to have to stop laying into them a little bit. Maybe I'm going to be assertively tell them I'm not happy with the performance out there. And yeah, I mean, there's a few that are not really playing very well. O'Hara is on a booking. I think I'm going to tell him just to calm down a little bit. Watch his step to avoid another booking. And these three, Howells, Coombs and Lafayette, should be doing better. Tell them that they're capable. Modest is having a pretty good game, so yeah, that might have run my plan down my throat again. But I think I'll leave it at that for the time being. Or actually, I might give Doe again a little bit of a pep talk. So yeah, looking for a much improved second half, and more than anything else, a goal for us, hopefully. And it's going to be ourselves to kick off. Probably a nothing opening highlight, but you never know, we might get an early goal. So first proper highlight with about 5 minutes and a half gone. Here's Coombs now on the ball on the right hand side. Goes back inside to Modest. Here's Waldron. Can he uncork one from distance? No, here's Howells. Got a bit of support from Smith. Looking to get a crossing potentially. Goes towards the back post. And it's gone down. And penalty! Yakubu has pushed Modest. And it's going to be Danny Waldron to step up from the penalty spot. Can we get that opening goal? And can we put ourselves on the road to a win? And there it is. Danny Waldron, 4th goal of the season for him. And it's been coming. Let's be honest, it's been coming. We should have got it in the first half. And Danny Waldron, keeper didn't get too far. He wasn't too far away from it. But we've got the lead. Hemel Hempstead Town 0, Billericay 1. So another highlight now. And it's Scott Doe goes down the line to Smith, inside to Waldron. Ball over the top looking for Howells, but I think that's a little bit beyond him. And Ward, oldest man in existence probably. I exaggerate. But here's Lafayette now going back to O'Hara. Waldron to Lafayette. Got support from Howells. He's going to drive towards the corner. Got support from Smith. Here's Waldron again. Shots blocked. Here's Sambu. Can he get a shot away? He can. Just over the bar. So, it's been a relatively quiet second half, to be honest, and I'm going to make some changes. So, O'Hara isn't having a good game, so I'm going to bring Aaron Cull on to replace him, and I'm going to play Cull as a box-to-box midfielder, as that's where he is he's most comfortable. And I don't know, I haven't really got the players to bring Sambu off. I suppose I could bring Kennedy on for Sambu, and then put Inman alongside Doe with Wakefield on the right-hand side there. He's going to have to make do with the wing-back role at the moment because that's how I want them to play. And I think I'll leave it for the time being, but the next probable candidate, I'm thinking Coombs potentially. He's not made a good game. Neither is Jake Howells either, to be honest with you. So, but I'll just make the 2 changes from now. We've got about 20 minutes left. Sambu off for Inman and O'Hara off for Aaron Cull. So, another 10 minutes has passed pretty much and nothing's happened, so I'm going to take Coombs off and I'm going to bring Robinson on. I'm going to give him another chance and I'm going to play him as a poacher, as that's where he's most comfortable in the attacking duty. So yeah, that's our 3rd and final change. Still think that there's a little bit more to come from this game and I don't know which way it's going to go. It's finely poised at the moment. And we need that 2nd goal just to make sure of things. So, yeah, there we go. Coombs off for Robinson for the final 10 minutes of the game. And we've got an instant highlight following that. So, here's Robinson now, just come on. Modest goes inside to Waldron. Here's Cull to Inman, who's quite far up considering he's a centre-back. His cross is blocked. He's going to get another bite of the cherry, though. Here's Modest. And, oh, he's hit the post. And, ooh, referee, come on, there's a foul, surely. No, okay. So we've got about a minute and a half left of the game to go. Here's Modest now to Waldron. He's got support from Smith. Can Smith find a cross into the middle? He can. There's Robinson. Oh, and it's saved. And Lafayette's on hand to mop up, grab his 1st goal of the season and for the club as well. It's been coming. Honestly, it's been coming. Can't really say fairer. We probably should have had more than this, and we shouldn't have had to wait till the 92nd minute to get it. But Smith, low cross to the back. Robinson shot straight at Allen, but it drops right to Lafayette. Allen gets a little touch on it, but he can't stop it. Hemel Hempstead 0, Billericay 2, and that's game over pretty much. And this will probably be the final highlight of the game. Howells nods it on, Ward clears. Waldron's going to pick up the loose ball, but that's the end of it. So, 2-0 win for us there. On the face of it, you could say we deserved it, but again, looking for a real comprehensive win, a real convincing win following our defeat to Woking. But, you know, 2-0, clean sheet, 3 points. Can't really say fairer, to be honest with you. Alex Smith got the man of the match there for that one. But Howells wasn't very good today. Neither was Coombs. O'Hara had a bit of an off day. So dressing room wise, I'm just going to tell them that it was a good win. That's all I can say. I don't want to beat upon them. They've won the game. They did what they needed to do. So I'm just going to say that, and we'll leave it there. And I think I'll just signal praise for him. Just calmly say you impressed me out there. Did well, and I think I'll leave it at that. For there. So there we go. 2-0 win. Can't really say fair up. And we stay top of the league. Torquay keep pace with us, as do Woking, because they both won. Woking beat Concord Rangers away from home 2-0. Last 5 minutes, a penalty, and then another one in injury time. And Torquay, they beat Chippenham Town by 2-1 there. So yeah, still finally poised at the top of the table there between the three of us. But what we're going to do for the next time, for the next episode, is I'm tempted by Hemel Hempstead and Richmond Borough, purely because they're still sitting in the promotion places. They're in 6th at the moment. So yeah, I think we'll probably be coming back to that. We'll have highlights from Dartford and whoever we play in the FA Cup second qualifying round as well. But yeah, that's the end of today's episode, guys. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, you would like to see more Football Manager 2019 or just general content from myself, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also be sure to check me out on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. There's links to my pages in the description below. You can go and get to know me a little better if that's what you want. Yeah, there we go, guys. So like I said, once again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Stay cool. And as always, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.